Hi everyone, this is Madhukar. Welcome to the next release of AutoCAD APIs. I work as a force developer advocate for Autodesk. This is a forward looking statement. The statements are not intended to be a promise or guarantee of future delivery of products, services, or features, but merely reflect of our current plans. We don't expect you make a purchasing decision based on the statements we produce deliver during this presentation. The agenda for this today's session is AutoCAD 2020 feature updates, AutoCAD 2022 API updates, and a little feedback that we are looking for how to make AutoCAD web as a platform. So for this, we need your help to provide how do you want to see AutoCAD web as a platform. This is a confidential information. Today's discussion is covered under your ADN agreement with Autodesk. The information we will be providing is highly confidential and it should not be discussed outside of your company and can be shared among your colleagues as a need to know basis. Autodesk makes no guarantees that anything presented or discussed will actually appear in the future. The code name for AutoCAD 2022 is Sequoia, which is a genus of tall redwood trees. Um, it's a taxonomic name is Sequoia for redwood trees. Probably these trees are very significant to California. Probably that has inspired our engineering teams to come up with Sequoia. And engineering, we have a legacy of following the alphabetic order when we name the code name for AutoCAD. The upcoming release name is Sequoia. The current release which is in the market is the Rogue. Prior to that, it's Qubit, and prior to that, it's Pi. We have more than half a dozen feature updates for AutoCAD 2022. I will be dealing with each feature independently. Trace count, floating drawing tabs, share current drawing, push to Autodesk talks, redesign on Stat tab, and a new technical preview feature called 3D graphics. Okay, and then the trace. During the design phase, AutoCAD users need to collect input from collaborators and real world information to their drawings. Current workflow is quite messy that requires to travel across several application or forms of media like screenshot, PDF, email, print to paper, uh, and saving up of piles of PDFs. There are certain pain points of this workflow which will put a lot of burden that collaborators may mess up the design document, and it is very difficult to engage the remote collaborators, and the feedback closure system is not smooth and efficient. So to address these pain points, Trace, which provides a safe space to collaborate on drawing changes in AutoCAD web and mobile apps without fear of altering the existing drawing. It serves it serves two people, one for collaborators that can easily communicate their feedback, and other for the designers who can place the design alternative on the trace window. These are the commands and system variables for trace. The trace can be created or edited and can be viewed on web and mobile, but this trace cannot be created or edited on desktop, but it can be viewed on the desktop and as well as web and mobile. While editing the drawing, you can edit the drawing while viewing the trace. So here is a short movie explaining, showcasing the workflow of the trace. Let's see now. I opened a floor plan sample drawing, clicked on the trace button. I renamed it to the replace computers. Then I pick a revision cloud annotation feature, and I have selected a computer block which I would like to be replaced. I picked it. I will click the check mark to complete the trace process. Next, I will create another trace. This trace I would like to add a computer in the block which I would like to place it. So I have picked up block position and made a label called add a new computer, change the font size, and I'll complete the trace action. Once you complete the trace action, we would like to see this drawing in the current running AutoCAD process. So for that, we will be using the open and desktop feature. This feature will this feature requires for you to block the pop-up blocker, disable the pop-up blocker, and it will go through to some authorization window. If your Autodesk account is enabled with two-factor authentication, you need to agree to those authorizations. One, you can see the drawing is opened in the current AutoCAD application, and when you click on the trace palette open, the palette has become active, and you can see the traces that I have created on the web. So when you click on the when you click on the trace when you click on the when you I can when you click on the when you click on the trace, a trace window will pop up. Here you will notice that the trace window has grayed out the drawing graphics. This is just to illustrate that you are on the trace window, and the annotations are actually placed on the trace window, not on the AutoCAD drawing. So we'll go to the next feature. The next feature of our presentation is a count. You can quickly and accurately count the instance of the objects in a drawing. The count, the logic of the count is any object with a similar shape or geometry will be counted based on the selected object. And you can also insert a table with the count data into the current drawing. These are the commands and system variables that are available for count. When you click on the count, a palette is opened, and with these elements on it, when you select an object that you want to be counted, this gives a number of the instances that has found, and this gives the details of count, and you can zoom to the next or previous object in the count. And this icon, when you click on this, it inserts a count field. When you click on the check mark, it ends the count. So one of the system variables which is of interest is the count check, which controls the type of errors to check in the count. There are two values that this variable takes. One is one. When you click the count check to one, you'll get an overlap errors. When you select two, you'll get three kinds of error. The first one is overlap duplicate objects that are overlap or stacked on top of each other. And next is the explode, non-block geometry that matches the appearance of the counted blocks. A renamed matched block that has been renamed with a different block definitions. You can add filters to the count. You can check three types of errors, as I said, and you can also export a result as a field or in table that can update dynamically. Count is not only for block objects, as is shown. It's not only for block object, but it can be any entity as long they have visible and identical shape or geometry. It could be selection of entities or group of objects. Count is purely based on the geometry. The next feature is floating drawing tabs. You can now draw a file tab of the AutoCAD application window, make it a separate window. It has two major benefits. One thing, you can have simultaneously view the multiple drawings, and the second is you can just move the drawing tab onto the different monitor and the view the drawings in the big screen. You can also use it to compare the two drawings without switching between the tabs, as it used to happen in the prior releases. There's only one system variable that introduced with the AutoCAD drawing floating tabs, sys floating. And next is the share. A share is a feature similar to the e-transmit. Whatever the e-transmit does today currently will be done by the share, but it will share a web link for you to view or edit the drawing on AutoCAD web. All the drawing related like cross external reference font files, images are included in the share. So basically it will upload your drawing, it will provide a link that can be viewed or edited on the AutoCAD web. There is only one command called share. um, there is we have a revamp to provide a consistent welcome experience for Autodesk products, a start tab redesign. So now we will watch a movie which is covering all the features which I set so far after the trace. So I have, when I click the count, I have selected list all block objects. Oh, okay, sorry. So when I you can see that when I select a count, either I can select a target object or I can give list of all blocks. I'm going with the list of all blocks. In the count palette, you can see that all the blocks has been displayed in the count palette. So now I just select on the chair. You can see that all the chairs in the drawing are highlighted, and you will see a count bar which shows the number of instances that are matching with the selected object, which is the chair in my case. And you can zoom to the next object or right, and when you click on this check mark, it will closes the count. And you can also see that there are warning symbols on different blocks. So this warning symbol, we will see what does that warning symbol is. So when you click on it, it says overlapping object. So this is door 36. It is overlapped with door 37. So this is one. The doors are overlapped on top of each other. So you can close the count. So next is sorry. Next is the floating drawing. I'm opening multiple drawing files, and I'm trying to place these drawing files across my monitor. So I'm dragging this drawing file and placing it a certain corner in the drawing tab, and now I'm again dragging this. So if you have three monitors, you can place this drawing files on each monitor, and these are modeless windows. You can resize it. If you look at it, I just placed a drawing window and I resized it and stacked on the current drawing. The advantage of this is, if you want any of the blocks or elements that you want to copy into the current drawing, you can just make a a small size of this window and place it over the AutoCAD current drawing, like I did. So I'm closing all the AutoCAD drawings. Let me close all the AutoCAD drawings. So the next is the share feature. I have entered the share command, and now the share is creating a link to the current drawing. So it has two kind of access things: a view only and edit and save as a copy. And open this in the web AutoCAD. Copy that link and open in web AutoCAD. So okay. It's retrieving the file and the drawing gets opened. So next is a 3D graphical technical preview. This release includes a technical preview of completely new cross-platform 3D graphic system being developed for AutoCAD, leveraging all the power of modern GPUs. and multi-core CPUs to offer a smooth navigation experience for larger drawings than in prior releases. Releasing an in-product feature as a technical preview is somewhat new thing in AutoCAD land. Developing new graphics system for AutoCAD makes is a massive task that takes years of development. So this feature is released as a technical preview as it is far from done. However, there are enough capabilities and stabilities for users and developers to try out. And we would like to receive the feedback from you, um, how you find this feature. So the next, the requirements, the modern graphic system requires DirectX tool, which is a capable hardware. The minimum DirectX 12 feature is 11.0. As you can see that it's a 12 and 11.0 feature level. You can run the dxdia command on on your operating on your machine to check whether your machine is meeting the requirements to to uh, to run this new modern graphic system on AutoCAD. Activating and deactivating technical preview is turned on and off with the 3D tech preview. This is a system variable that dictates whether this modern graphic system is activated or deactivated. When you enable it, you need to restart AutoCAD to take that effect. By default, we are providing technical previews off. As I said that the reason for providing the technical preview off as a default is it's still far from done. Still there is a work to be done, but we hope that the feature currently has enough capabilities to play around. So once you on it and just restart the AutoCAD, you will find a 3D visual style uh, in the viewport control to indicate that technical preview is active and using the modern graphic system. So let me run this movie. You can see that I have opened a massive drawing which is 40 MB in the file size. You'll find that the navigation or like a panning is not very smooth. It has a lag. So now I have already enabled tech preview. So you can see that it has been switched to the modern graphic system. From here the shaded dash GSF. Now the navigation is very smooth. You can just scroll, you can just pan and zoom easily. So this is another video where I have where I have around 30 clones of the same drawing, but even you will not find any lag when you do panning or zooming operation. So there are like more than 30 copies of the same model which I shown in the previous video. So you can see that there is no lag. The navigation experience is very smooth. The next is the push to Autodesk docs. Push to Autodesk docs allows teams to view digital PDFs in the field for references. Using this feature, it will directly upload drawings as a PDF into the target folder in a Autodesk docs, which is a part of Autodesk Construction Cloud Suite. So let us, and we have only three commands, two commands and one system variable. Let's look at how it can be done. So okay, let me cancel this. uh, Let me run this push to docs open. So this feature is already available in the current version and earlier previous two versions available up to 2018. We released this as a application on our app store. So you can just go here and Autodesk Autodesk docs extension for AutoCAD App Store. This is how you can just click on this. So you'll be finding it. It's a free extension and it supports up to 2018 version. So let's close this and come back to AutoCAD. I have already created a JSON file, so I'm uploading to that. So you can find the sheet files here. I'm uploading all the sheet files, but if you want to add it manually, you can click on this add sheet button and just add the drawing. But I'm using this JSON file which I have already prepared to save the time. So upload sheets. Uh, there are many admin accounts for my BIM 360 as well as ACS docs. So I will be using this folder and I'll click OK. So this has started. You can see that in the background it is plotting and we are expected to see the drawings here. So we will come back to this while it takes some time. We will revisit to this. Meanwhile, we will complete other portions of our presentation. So that completes the feature updates of AutoCAD 2022. The next is about the API updates. AutoCAD 2022 is expected to release in the end of March and mid March, and the first customer ship is in the late March. The most important things of API is we are not breaking the binary for AutoCAD 2022, and there is only minor version number changed from Aut 24 to Aut 24.1, and we are not changing the drawing format. The drawing format is same as 2018. So the last format we changed is 2018. Prior to that is 2013, and we are using the same Visual Studio ID. Uh, ID, but there is a change in the tool set. The tool set is same. Sorry, there is a change in the compiler version. So AutoCAD 2021 user used 16.0, whereas AutoCAD 2022, when it is built, it was using 16.7 or later. But irrespective of what version you use for Visual Studio, for AutoCAD 2022, any version that is available after 16.7, like 16.9, should also work. The next release of AutoCAD 22 is curing, and we do not have more information on whether we'll be breaking the drawing format or what, whether it will be a breaking binary release, and it will be too early for us to comment on that. This is ADN support cycle which I present every year. The current support cycle is 2020, 22, and the previous three releases 2019, 20, and 21. The same framework we are using, the Visual Studio 16.7, and major version no change, minor version is changed to 1. Make sure you replace this in your package bundles, registry keys, etc. etc. This is another important information that I present during my session. Um, we have removed support for AutoCAD and 32-bit from AutoCAD 2020. So the current AutoCAD release also supports 64-bit. For the better experience, we expect you to have a multi-core Intel or Xeon processor. Uh, for AutoCAD supports 4K displays and high resolution. Um, .NET Framework 4.8. Uh, if you're working on large data sets or point clouds, we expect to have 16 GB RAM or more, and disk keep 6 GB, display card 4K resolution, and direct 3D capable workstation class graphic card. Migration basics. So the major version number is changed from sorry, the minor version number is changed from R24.0 to point 1 with the same Visual Studio ID. Maybe you have to update to sub. Maybe if you are a customer of AutoCAD 2021, you may have to update to the newest version or to 16.7 or later to build your object arrays applications. .NET Framework version is 4.2. The tool set is same 142. There is no change in the drawing font. And if you want to update, you need to update in even the register case, etc. These are the other information which I keeps telling in my presentation. From AutoCAD 2021, we have introduced in two binaries. One is the library and another is the DBX application. If you're working on a 3D model geometry like solid surfaces, make sure you link with AC Geoment library and load that AC Geoment OBJ DBX. And please remove the dependence on the legacy Visual Studio and runtime. The Microsoft is planning to deploy. I don't know if it's already deprecated this ATL 100 and MFCM 100 DLLs. We are when you compile Object-RX application, please use /gs and dynamic base and next compact these libraries. There is no change in the .NET framework. No code migration is required, but as always I said, you always test your applications. Trusted path. Uh, Trusted path. If you need to make sure the file comes from the trusted source and does not contain any harmful or insanity files. So by default, program files that trusted, and if you want, please note that program data or app data are not trusted. We recommend you to sign your file, and if you want to avoid this trust publisher dialog, you need to, you can go to this blog. One second, it is removed here. One- So you can just find for how to avoid trust this publisher dialog. So I have written this blog somewhere in 2016. So this explain how to avoid this trust this publisher by adding a certificate to trusted shore. Either you can use .NET or you can use C++ by adding a certificate to the store. Now make sure you buy that certificate from um, any of the market leading certificate providers. Let's get back to our presentation. Digital signing. It is recommended to digital sign the plugin ARX, .NET, CRX, DBX, list file. Digital signature is an electronic security mark affixed to your plugin. It has the details about the publisher, an independent entity who can guarantee the publisher identity. Digital signing confirms the integrity of your plugin. Microsoft provides a sign tool for Windows to sign AutoCAD native binaries like .NET or C++, and it it also provides AutoCAD provides AC sign apply, which was used to sign the AutoCAD drawing files, but it's later extended to sign the list files. So this is available with along with AutoCAD application. Just find it in the AutoCAD install folder. Click this application. When you click this, you will find a dialog. Add the files button. Select the list file. Select the certificate which you have bought from a vendor, and you can click on the sign files button to sign it. It's very easy. The thing important thing is you need to buy a certificate from any of the vendors. So these are the purchase a digital signature. Use any of the you use these tools based on the application you are building it. If it is .NET or ARX, use sign tool that is shipped with Windows. If it is the Lisp, use AC sign apply that is shipped with AutoCAD. So in both the cases, the important thing is to purchase digital signature from VeriSign, DigiCert, etc. We have there are not much major APIs, but we have five APIs introduced based on the features which we have released is coming in this release. One is the floating drawing windows. So to know whether the drawing document window is floating, you can use this API. And there are two APIs provided to react to the window floated. The next is there are certain improvements that has happened to the graphics system. These are not new APIs, but in the background there are some changes that has improved in the graphics system. You can go to the ARX MGD or ARX img or ARX doc CHM file that she comes with object SDK to find more information on these APIs, and these are very self-descriptive. uh, to get the graphic kernels, this API is to get the current display model, and what are the get an array of graphics model. The another API that introduced after a long time on DXF is DXF out EX, which has another argument, another parameter to the function is to provide a code page. Now the API developers or callers can specify code page. Please note that DXF file format which are after 2007 can use UTF-8 character coding, but if it is prior to 2007, you need to use ANSI code page. Um, uh, this is another API that is in addition to the already existing API called ACDB Select Grip. This ACDB Select Grip 2 will allow applications to determine whether grip on a custom entity is selectable. There are two APIs that are accompanied with the plotting publishing API. One thing is initializing layouts, and another thing is trace session. The initializing layouts is a very important API for automation projects. Most of the times, the drawings that we come and want to open inside database, which we do not want to open in the AutoCAD editor, these drawings most of the times are uninitialized layouts, and it's not possible without the API to initialize the layout. So using this API, we can initialize the layout without opening AutoCAD drawing on the editor. And if you want to set the trace session to be included with the sheet as a part of plotted output, you can use set trace session. For more information on the new and changed APIs, please go through the respective CHM files that are shipped with ObjectRx SDK. Um, I have already recorded a tutorial, and if you're coming from a different version of Visual Studio and this is the first time you're using Visual Studio 2019, I highly recommend that you go to this video. So it's available here, project migration. So I explain what are the minimum workloads required for ObjectRx development and .NET development. Please note that with Visual Studio 17 and Visual Studio 2019, by default C++ MFC workloads are not part of the default installation. You have to manually select them for building ObjectRx. So please go through this video. Uh, if you're coming from the older versions of Visual Studio 2000. So let's go back, and we would like to hear AutoCAD feedback. How would you like to see AutoCAD Web as a platform? And you can go here. You can just go to my blog, AutoCAD Dev blog. Just go to my blog. So you can select this link and send your queries or feedback to this link, and of course you will be receiving a $75 gift card. Okay, this brings me, let us come back to our feature. So you can see that all the files has been uploaded into this DevDays 2021 21 folder, and this is the ACC's Autodesk Construction Cloud. It's a family of cloud collaboration tools, and I'm in this docs feature. So I can mark up this. Okay, I can mark up. I can click revision cloud, and next thing I can publish it, close it. So you can even share this. You can just publish it. So I'm not a product expert in this ACC docs, but the idea of this feature is to allow the drawings to be converted as a PDF sheets and directly put it into the docs, where it will be useful for the field engineers to the reference to the PDF to visualize the PDFs. So next. Uh, the recording will be presented here in adn.autodesk.io. If you have any questions and you would like to, if you can always write to me, I will try to answer on the question related to Autodesk DevDays 2021 on the feature Autodesk 2022. Thank you.